Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the next part of Kentucky Route Zero. I'm Mrs. Cannon, and today, I guess we're going to be starting with Here and There Along the Echo, the interlude between 3 and 4. Either that, we'll hit Act 4. Uh, if it's any indication, based on how Act 3 was, it's probably going to be a long one. But hopefully, it's enjoyable. I really did like Act 3. I like meeting up with like Junebug and stuff, and I guess we now have a new job after this final delivery that we need to make with trying to pay off our debt. So it seems like it's going to take forever based off of what the stranger's facility was like, making that hard times liquor. So let's go ahead and just hop on into it. Let's see what this one's about. You know, here and there along the echo. Echo. 270. Had to do that first. Alright, those motherfuckers. It's nice because the music is only. I guess that makes sense. It's on this side, so I'm only hearing everyone else side. For a second, I was just like, don't tell me this. Yeah, I was saying, that moment where you think the headset is like not good. Oh yeah, no. It's only one ear. I got no. I didn't read that button.
For
I
a
don't remember this.
menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial, press 9.
Do not have an
For
extension.
more information about our organization, press 3. If you don't remember dialing this number at all, press 5. To hear these options again, for historical sites along the Echo River, press 1.
Audio sites.
For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press 3. If you're holding a snake right now, press 4. To hear, if you're dialed into this here informational resource,
Yeah,
then
trying to get
you're
some
a
intel.
certain kind of beachcombing, bat-calling sightseer. So let's take a driftwood inventory.
Alright, okay.
For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1.
Underwater islands, cool.
For forgotten places, press 2. For restless places, press 3. For what little we know of the Iron Pariah, press 4.
This is going too quick.
For food and drink recommendations, press 5. To return. For secret tourism, forgotten places are the vital spark. Take no pictures here, nor souvenirs.
They need to stay
no travel logs.
secret.
We will discuss these places now in vague and qualified descriptions. For the town with no roads to it, press 1.
Okay.
For the silo of late reflections, press 2. For the monument to something that we don't remember what it is, press 3.
Oh yeah, that. I
suppose it must have been an important event if we felt we needed to commemorate it.
Yeah.
The monument looks like it was a lot of work to put together.
Okay.
I wonder if it was a happy occasion, something we were celebrating and didn't want to let go of, or if instead it was something so horrible that we never wanted to forget it, for fear that we'd accidentally do it again. There isn't a plaque or anything. I guess we didn't think we'd need one. For a diver's guide to underwater
Okay.
islands, press
I feel like
1.
this interlude is
For
literally
forgotten
just you being
places,
able to,
press
you
2.
know, learn more
For
and more about
restless
varying
places,
locations and stuff like
press
that
3. For what
and
the
stuff.
Iron Pariah
So I'm
is
guessing
what
that this
she's
is the interlude.
called
You know, you could just
along the Echo
sit
River.
here, go through all the
Of
varying
course,
options,
she once
hear
had
everything
another
nonsense.
name for the
It'd probably
things
take you
scratched
a
away, maybe
good
10
amount of
times
time,
the
probably 20,
shape.
30 minutes,
Or maybe
maybe
she
more,
took a bend
depending on
too
how like
sharply
many more
and left
menus
her
within the
true
menus there
name
are.
on a rock. So,
So
what else? We know she was in the war,
so I guess you
but
could
neither
do that,
side would claim
which
her.
is kind of cool.
We don't know if
Or that they have
anyone's
all this additional
aboard.
lore and stuff in the game that you can
Ships along the
go
water
through.
and commands a wide berth. Tourists, if you hope to document the Iron Pariah, I fear you will be disappointed. She has a beguiling way of vanishing from photographs. Steer to shore and let her be carried along in silence. Pilgrims, I wouldn't dare to interfere. For a diver's guide.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna go through every single menu and every single little thing and nonsense in. At least not right now. You know, I'm gonna leave that up to you guys to be able to go through and learn more and more about varying secret places and varying, the underwater islands and all the fauna, food recommendations, and all the varying things that you could ask and such, which is really cool. But I want to know what happens next. So Act 4. That's right. We're it's a ferry. Oh, it's an animatronic now. I mean, that's cool. It feels like that's probably way a bunch. Take a lot of space. General Guard, the General Guard, apparatus, and everyone undesirable play between teeth and context. User state machine call steering, slippage for setting, skipping. Well, guess it could be slippage. Yeah, left unresolved gear slop can gradually throw limbs out of alignment, blend motions, and decontextualize gestures. Also, gesture context. Gesture context. All gestures happen in the context instead of preceding gestures. The overall orientation and extended variables such as time of day and interior affect gear angles. That'll do, book. That'll do. Plus our robotic June bug is on. He just throws the book in the water. My savior, our friend here is in a bad way. Any insight? I chose to go high voltage. This is where she leaves. Time going. I'm just supposed to show return the favor. Yeah, in there, the zero. Oh no, 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 no. You stay away from weird highways. I've been traveling this river for half my life. More or less alone, I think I've seen it change quite a bit in all those years. But I can't say for sure. The water has a peculiar way of making a person forgetful. Some nights I remember a place, but it's full of strange new people, and some nights I meet an old friend on an unfamiliar shore. I wonder what kind of night this is. What kind of night? Oh, what a night! Night 4, scene 1. How many scenes will there be in the Mucky Mammoth? Accurate. No, no. Can't. Just no. Ooh. How's that cold river spray treating you? I thought I saw you squinting. It's hard water, you know. Hard on the eyes. It still irritates mine a little, and I'm piloting a tugboat through it 6 nights a week. Don't be too shy to close them in public. Your eyes. I mean, people will just assume you're thoughtful. You need tea. So, definitely peppermint, dried spring, iris, milk thistle, and dried reishi. Yeah, what are all those for? Yeah, that's a lot of ingredients. Ice rain, dried spring iris masks the taste of the rest of it. Dried reishi in particular has an eccentric flavor profile. It's a mushroom base. It's a big believer in the fungal pharmacy. And, how's the water looking tonight? The echo is dicey tonight. Bad luck for you, except waves and diversions. Oh no, waves and diversions. Dogwood Drive is by the Silo mail stop, but we may need to spend some time on the indirect route before we hit your stop, okay? And there's other business. Mail to drop off, garbage to pick up, and a few favors to execute, all dotted on the river banks from here to there. Hope you enjoy the trip on our little mammoth. Take advantage of all the amenities. Fresh air, cozy bunks, hot tea, the video room. There are some pretty interesting tapes down there, actually. Usually, I mean, weird. Watch out that the VCR doesn't take your hand off, though. It's untrustworthy. Yeah, what's wrong with the VCR? Yeah, you know, you fix it something. Oh, please do. I don't know anything about electronics. Maybe try a few different tapes. You'll get the picture. Hey, do me a favor. Go ask Will about the repairs are going and if he needs anything. We're coming up to the next stop here, just refueling and picking up a few things. I could grab a boulder or some wire or something, whatever he needs. Well, eyes on the road. Haha. On the road again. This is always cool. It's dynamic on the ship. Blue! Yeah. Let's see if I can talk to Blue. Can I get up there? Nope, okay. Not yet at least. That's Blue. Yeah, check up on Blue. Alright. Way up, Whiskey feed. Whiskey. What gears? Did you build this thing? No, this thing probably older than I am. Got some gray in her pellet. They're calcium deposits, I guess. To be honest with you, I'm not really qualified for this work. Cat's a friend, and you know how it is, don't you? Cat looks if you need anything much, though. Hell, I don't know. Scratch ticket. Yeah, they should be like parts, you know. I wouldn't know if I did. Yeah, you know, you're friends and now you're working on the ferry. So, ever walked through rolling farmland? Just drove. Right, nobody does it. Unless it's their land to farm. I mean, they'll walk from barn to tractor or tractor to truck, you know. Well, I sure did. I slipped under or over fences and I walked barefoot with the seeds when they were just planted and tilled the earth. Okay. Okay. You know, a classically trained organist is a hey. Good. I look at these long figures in front of me. I said, hey, I don't like this man talking about his feet. I don't. I'm not into it. Well, some city governor cut state funding for our department. We're demoted and mopping floors, running wire strip walls at a dangerous place. I even operated the sound break at a student theater. I left my shoes there at the university. It was a protest. Walk without shoes for something important or tragic. I ended up by the shore and I was drifting along the echo and ran for a while above ground. Then it doesn't anymore. But I prefer subterranean waters anyway. Can't bring me along and I record what I see and hear. I try to help with the maintenance. I drop off the mail and pick up trash. On occasion, I take the helm. Anyway, that's all I'm trying to remember anymore. I listen to the river stories. My own stories get fainter and fainter. Well, I'll just keep trying gears, I guess. Let's draw. Whoa, slow down. Slippery up one today. Do you have batteries? Yeah, of course. What's for? Johnny said I could use a tape recorder, but it needs a battery. Oh, fine, well. Search those pockets. Here, 4 different kinds. Surely one of these should fit. Thank you. One of the batteries. Oh, I'm Ezra now. Yeah, battery, so man, go get you some tape. What's over here though? What's Ezra gotta see? As big as Little Raw. Let's go. It's one of the things where like this is here and it's like replacing the horn essentially, and I'm like, is that what's in here? Let's go to this door. Well, like That's cool. The musicians. There's a cat there. What's the cat all about? I'm just kind of looking around. I can't go over there. I don't know if it doesn't seem like I can go down. Can't go up. Yeah, it's really? You were in trance, you don't remember this? It's okay, we've all seen a lot of concerts. Chrono opened, his tape machine was broken or something, it got real cosmic. You're like, yeah, at the flower shop, I remember that show, sorry, Clara. Oh yeah, it was second chance to hear it tonight. That was fast, got the batteries? Let's see, perfect, this one will do. So you hit this button here to record. Hold it right here so you don't cover your microphone with your hand. I bet you'll find a lot of good sounds just around the tugboat. There's plenty of tape in there, so don't be stingy with it. Just record anything that catches your ear. It really changes the way you listen for the better, I mean. Yeah, you find a concert, you record that. Yeah, Clara came all the way from Lithuania just to do this Echo River gig. It's a tour. Tomorrow I'll be in Nashville and then Atlanta and then over to the East Coast. Brutal. Well, we're lucky she's making a stop. Johnny and I saw her play once, and I remember loving it, and Johnny was moved. Speaking of crying, oh, it's his night at the rum colony. Kate said she usually stops off there. Well, that's ideal. I'm supposed to meet a lady there to look at some old engine parts about 3 hours ago. 3 hours goes fast in the rum colony, man. I bet she's still there. I hope we don't stop there too long. My concert's soon. I don't want to keep them waiting. Nah, it's river time. Nobody expects you to be punctual. Hey, why don't you get that tape recorder and try to see if the cat over there has anything he wants to say? I often use found sounds on music, and if you find some clenching sounds tonight, you can help me out. So I got record sounds and working. This became a job real quick. Oh no, look at all my debt. An arm and a leg I had to pay. Because of one glass. That I don't want. I'd retort that I didn't want. I have an arm and a leg. By the end of this, I'm just gonna be just like them. That was oh yeah. Going back outside into the wild. Going away. You know, it's the strangest thing. I can't remember why I came up here. Neither can I. Damn noisy river. It's just that thing about, what was it, when you walk through a door? When you go into the kitchen for something, and as soon as you pass from one room to another, you forget what you wanted. You had to walk back out just to remember, like you left a part of your brain behind. Hey, I wonder if I could follow that brain crumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. Convoy's dad is getting to him. Looks cold down there and dark. You weren't in the cabin long. Get any sleep? Had a weird dream. Yeah, that's when you get the strangest things, when you nod off right. Just kind of dip your toes into sleep and some weird image floats by and takes a nibble. Shannon leans over the railing and looks at the river below. See how those are going. Oh yeah, he's walking around with that tape recorder, exploring. Seems to keep himself entertained. It's good for him. It's important to know how to be alone. What's up? Huh? You look like there's something you wanted to ask. Fine, you can ask it. One question. Yeah, I thought you didn't drink. Well, I didn't. I mean, I did, and then I didn't. And then I did again? That's how it always goes. I drift out, finally wind up back at Lissatz with my head between my legs, saying never again. 15 months the last time I think I hung on because I knew there wouldn't be for much longer anywhere to go back to. She would have lived with her sister now, and she probably won't remember me for long anyway. One night she picked me up out of a ditch on the road, blackout drunk at dawn. I came around later that night. She taking care of me. I told her I didn't deserve it, and she said I didn't have to deserve it. So you go to the distillery. So I gotta repay my debt. Hell, I should be grateful for the opportunity. If you want to die with any dignity, you gotta settle up. That's why it's such a damn shame when people go suddenly. Yeah, I gotta work at. Yeah, I gotta go work at the distillery. Water sounds, delicate, something I do. Like, oh man, all this can replace. Just floating along. I'm sure I talk too much. Everyone in this river does. The problem is that I listen twice as much as that. We're only telling you half of the stories we hear. Kat told me that I ought to be here. Having a photographer, she said, you have an uncanny way of having been in the place at the time the thing happened there, and that's the hardest part of taking a photograph anyway. I was about to say, but it isn't true though. I know just about every story of the river, most of them I picked up second, third, or fourth hand, and so on, listening, see? Now I know what you're gonna ask, so I'm gonna answer it. Yes, I'm sure they're all true. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around from brain to brain. The whole community brings their insight to bear the brittle facts of experience. There are a few Echo River stories I witnessed directly. I saw that big owl migration pass through. You might have heard about that. I was there when the old train station flooded. I saw the ghost of Stephen Bishop brew up a batch of white lightning on a raft. Or anyway, I talked to a few sailors who recently crossed paths with him, and I suspect sampled his wares. One night when I was working on the Mucky Mammoth, we picked up a gaggle of passengers headed down to the Mull Drop with a silo of late reflections. I knew a couple of them in the passing, and a pair of traveling musicians whom I often encountered on the river. The others were strangers to me at the time. A young woman, a small boy, and an old man whose name I didn't catch. Oh, and a smelly old dog. We docked at the gas station so the man could refuel. So he's telling the story of us and our connection and everything. It's cool. And yeah, it looks like the place from the hotline that we called and everything. I just stayed on a tugboat or RFLG went to the gas station. I'll let them stay on the tugboat. Look around the map. Options. Uh-oh. I've foreseen too. On the Mucky Mammoth. I guess now there is a... As I watch the lake drift by, he sees a lone swimmer in a black vest, a floating gas station, a few worn telephone books tethered together with a gray rope, a school of greenfish. What a relief, thanks for taking the wheel. I think you're okay. Out to what? What does this lever do? I can hold the winch, so we need a little more slack in our hull or something. I should have probably explained that to you earlier, huh? Oh hey, there's the gas station. I was hoping we'd cross past it. It just kind of drifts around, you know? Never know when you'll meet it. As you can see by dial right here, our fuel situation is pretty desperate. It's a bad habit of letting that needle spend a lot of time in the red zone. We should only be docked by the gas station for a few minutes refueling. You might just want to stay aboard. So do you like boats? I used to watch a cartoon about boat. It was about pirates. They were searching out this treasure at the Grand Line or something? I don't know. They were all dog pirates. One of them was a parrot, but he just acted like a normal parrot. Yeah, that sounds great. I had to look out for that one. What else did I neglect to explain earlier? This area here is called the wheelhouse. All the gauges and controls help me understand what's going on with the Mucky Mammoth in our hull. This is a compass, but it doesn't work very well down here for some reason. I just go by landmarks, basically lights. You can see those two lights on the side of the boat, a red one and a green one. All the other boats have them too. Some are different colors or in different configurations. If we cross paths with someone, right away I can work out what kind of boat they're in and what direction they're heading, even in the dark. It's all about looking up here. The other half of piloting this boat happens down in the map room. Speaking of which, have we passed the big rock that looked like a dinosaur yet? No. Past the line with a bunch of ducks. Duck Island. Yeah, Duck Island. It's named after a nasty old hermit called Edgar Duck, who put a claim on it many years ago. Tried to build a house there. I heard he didn't have a better kitchen, and he used all this material on a big fence. He used to blast an air horn if anyone drifted too close. He eventually died, but it ain't stuck, and at some point the ducks moved in. Maybe people dropped them off there. I don't know. It's weird. We should have definitely passed Dinosaur Rock by now. Okay, what no? Oh wait, there it is up ahead. See? What? Dinosaur Rock? That's my new favorite rock! Yeah, it's great, right? What was your old favorite rock? Big rock in the woods. Little rock found looked like a rainbow. My aunt sent me a rock in the mail from Arizona. It was bright, green. She said it had good energy. Cool. It's strange though. According to my charts, we should have passed Dinosaur Rock before Duck Island, but that's okay. Sometimes the chart needs updating. Hey, Will, Will's down the Iron Islands. Could you run down and help him adjust the charts to move Duck Island so it comes a little earlier on the route than Dinosaur Rock? The map room's down below deck on the lower level. It's right next to the sleeping quarters. I'll get the intercom and let him know you're coming. Alright, gotta record the sound. Yeah, the kombucha bubble. Classic sound right there. We're going down. Hey! That's a nigga blue right there. No, it's also a. You're about. Hell, that's it. Well, so yeah, I bet you got a lot of them down there. You probably need maps to travel by boat. Myself, personally, I don't use them. I read the signs and remember the roads and know landmarks, or I ask for directions when going somewhere I've never been before. That's a good ask for directions. Remember that, kid. No shame in asking for directions. I just wanted the pet blue. We're heading down. What's he doing? What's he doing with our hand? This is harder than it looks. It takes a certain kind of ear. I like perfect fits. The head. Oh, the. What the? Hey, well. Salutations. Here says you adjusting for a chart to get time. I'm just checking my copies. So we keep our charts of today as we pass through a section of over the lake. I draw a new copy of the map and make adjustments for anything to see that doesn't match. So this is where we have Dinosaur Rock marked down. This little dinosaur drawing, I drew that. Yeah, what kind of dinosaur is that? Oh, you know, just a dinosaur. Oh, dinosaur droid. And that's here's where we thought the island was, but now I guess we gotta move it back a bit. But how far, I wonder? Any ideas? Anything else you remember about when you saw that guy? The water got real dark for a little bit. There was another boat would pass. The water got real dark for a little bit. Ah, well, that put the island somewhere in here. That's the only part of the chart before Duck Island where the island deepens noticeably. Good work. This should do for another copy. And oh, I do not like the sound of that Thurman in my ear. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe she doesn't know how to play it. Yeah, maybe she doesn't. This is what it sounds like. Oh, I mean, it's other correction. Tucked in the banks, low made a section deeper, land shipwreck, washed and been scavenged into splinters. Person means a lot of clutter, old copies. Let's see. I was just about to throw the sack out. Maybe you'd like to hang on to one. And try to take a look through and see anything. Let's look at the maps. Ooh, the rough, torn map. Turn around, like, there you go. There's no real idea of north down here, magnetic or otherwise, so we just hold them out with the current point pointing down. Oh yeah, I remember this day. Slow current's boring. Not that I mind. It's healthy to get a little bored sometimes. Long tear. Two sides. Paper clips. Moving. The crisp, clean map. I found wrapped in plastic, quite well preserved. I used to use chalks, so I must have lost my pencil today and it smears. No island marks, few landmarks. This was Duck Island, I'm sure. Alright, the faded old map. Old map, treasure. Islands just below the surface, only visible in the bright light. They come and go, I still mark them if I see them. That's cool. That's the one. Nice. Wrong. It's like, yeah, that's a cool. Yeah. Little, like I said, the underwater islands and everything that are part of it. The gas station isn't anchored to anything. If flow follows the current, we might run to it anywhere along the river. Okay, just starts looking for it once you low and feel and the echo provides. It's not usually on the lake though. That was strange. It says this place doesn't even have a name. A sign that says gas in big blocky letters, leaving little room for ambiguity. It has to be legible from a ways off, and nobody wants to be left guessing what they're about where they'll get their fuel, especially not on a night like this when the storm system's tearing around, flooding roads and dashing gardens. Anyway, my mechanical musician friends went ashore for a bit too. Yeah, it's like I said, she's like a robot. Kate doesn't like anything aboard the Maki Maki. If that doesn't grow wild and it's not in everyone's taste, or maybe just to stretch their lens and charge their batteries. They came back looking kind of confused though. I don't mean confused like, not like when somebody asks you a question you don't know the answer, but you feel like you should and you get that kind of alarm blankness in your mind. Not like that. They're confused like they see two kinds of motor oils and they cost the same and you've never heard that either of them, and you read all the text on the packages and all the new information just makes the choice seem even more impossible. You might be inclined to flip a coin, but how could you with something that important? I flip a coin. If I don't have a coin, I hit that flip a coin. Like I just put that in the Google search, flip a coin, and I just, whatever that is, best 2 out of 3. Naturally, I assume they mean the gas station attendant, a man who's anonymous in the itinerant in the place itself. I assume he talked their ear off, everyone in this river does, but I know the fellow well enough to know he wouldn't want us reminiscing on him now. So they came back aboard, men with refueled, and we ambled on towards the rum colony. The colony. Rum colony. Shannon retrieves the TV room to browse the video collection. Shannon followed the others some drowsy beach side. The thing is, I want to look at the videos because they said the videos were weird. So I kind of want to see what's weird about the videos. It is kind of nice that this act has like paths essentially. Do you go here or do you go there sort of thing? So if you guys play, you guys can check out the other paths. You'll see kind of what's going on, and it gives it a little bit of like replayability. These crowds. And saying that I could go back and I could see what happens at the gas station, see what happens in the rum colony. The cat's here. The blues here. Funeral things. Funeral music. An hour ago, I was sitting on folded chairs in the middle of a TV station, undecorated except for the funeral lily and a thin blue vase on the table. The lights are a bit too dim for them to make features. She reads the newspaper from unhurried efficiency. Gloria B. of Mount Vernon passed away on Monday at her residence. Survivors include her children, Dakota, Montana, Minnesota, and Bobby, all of Montford. They don't like Bobby. This is the name scheme? They don't like Bobby. Bobby wasn't supposed to be here. A memorial service will be held at 7 p.m. Thursday at Houghton Henry with cremation. Or they love Bobby. Either they don't like Bobby, or Bobby is like the favorite. She never knew Gloria. He thinks he may have heard the name, wondering aloud if he ever worked at the cafe down here in Munfordville. The woman who ran the place was once called Gloria, or maybe still is. They take a call. Someone who knew Gloria B. If not very well, the caller once installed a satellite dish at Gloria's house, a 900 square foot ranch-style home on 2 acres of a dead end backed by weeds and pine. When the caller mounted the ladder up to Gloria's roof, she slid open her window and tugged urgently at his pants leg. He followed her gaze behind the house to 2 wild turkeys picking through their weeds. Gloria and the caller watched, silent and still, as the huge birds foraged obliviously into the trees. Then he installed the satellite dish. Sad. Alright, okay, that was a art thing. Not art thing. I did an art thing the other day. So, and are these crabs down here? Is that what these are? At first she thinks the video might be paused, but on a closer inspection you can see the edge of the frame shrinking inwards around the chairs, desk, and loose gray furniture of a sterile waiting room. She watched for a while. She's not sure for how long. Several minutes. The zoom tightens so gradually she sometimes forgets it's happening at all, and finally rests on an oscillating desk fan. She's actually safe before the next part of the chapter begins. Okay. It's like, that was art. I've learned. Weather. don't know what the what's the weather like. This is like when you like go to your grandparents or something like that, and then they just have a bunch of videos and everything, and you're just like, you don't know what any of this is. Over footage of a dry riverbed, a program narrator explains the difference between modern drought and ancient drought. The narrator proposes the modern drought has hardly been considered weather at all, since its severity and behavior are so influenced by human activity. All right, and you just like all the like old shows and everything that you've never like seen before or anything like that. It's like those are all good. Birds. The birds. Like this feels like that kind of place. Blue-black morning swings in the screen. The bird watcher trends in the dewy grassy stunts with wet grunt and rests the camera on a pile of rocks. Birds from Great Distances, episode 12, appeared briefly on screen and twists his lens by hands, pushing the frame past trees into the road and coming to the halt, zoomed in on a fuzzy, fist-sized artifact resting on a momentary stroke of a telephone wire. Shannon and the birdwatcher observed. He breathes heavily and she holds her breath like she's afraid he might hear, afraid of distracting him of being discovered and contaminating his perfect isolation. Traffic picks up indifferent and the sky lightens in the black smudge and center of the frame gradually becomes more prominent, but never in any greater detail. She's like, alright, not bad, cat, dog, cat, dog, cat, dog. More birds. Shit. Alright, let's see what this is. I think that like the videotape just has 3 question marks. It's not that it's blank. It's because I'm sure if it was, they would have said blank, but it's just that there are question marks. That awful humming. It seems to start before Shannon even hits play. Then there's a familiar room and it's blank. Gray walls, marked tape with school desks, and as he notices a few more details, the murky carpet like a strand standing in water, some video equipment stashed in the corner of a row of lockers. And there's Weaver, looking serenely at the camera. As before, she starts speaking, and as before, there's no sound but that hum. Shannon finds Weaver's words coming back to her as they appear in captions on the screen. Mail, school, and these magnificent, tragic horses. Go underground as deep as you can go. The air is cold and the earth is damp, and when you close your eyes, you're surrounded by the dead. Remember where that is. You'll find your way from there. I think this place is what you're looking for. Some of it will wash away soon, but I think you'll be happy here, even without the mail, school. The text repeats for a few times and Shannon stops the tape. I've learned. What's this, return? Oh, yeah, put it back. I've seen enough. The Weaver script. God and Will. Hey, no, there's only a few notes. Slow and sad, like funeral music, you know? Yep, that's. I don't remember being sad, just simple and unburdened. Maybe that's what funeral music sounds like to me. Unburdened. Oh, hello. Kay and I were just trying to remember the Mammoth song. But neither of us have heard it for years. Will just found the mechanism. If the Mammoth's belly, hidden in gritty, matted fur, it's like a big music box, a slowly spinning cylinder covered in metal pins, pluck her ducklet guts and pump the bellows in her bowels. But some of the pins are rusted and worn away, easy to replace if we can never remember what the notes were. I hear you browse the archive next door, find anything good. Where do these videos come from? People just left them on board, passengers. They just leave videos. This is payment, right? It's like, thanks for the trip. Here's a video. It's not terrible, right? Especially if, depending on, like, you constantly hear 6 days a week having some sort of form of entertainment. They used to all be movies, that kind of stuff. I like nature documents especially. Some people left home movies or little art videos they made, but the damn VCR devours anything you leave in it. Oh, it's a good thing I took it out. It just switches into record mode at random, I think, and picks up whatever's coming in over the antenna. Of course, the only station we could get down here is WEVP, community television, you know. They got that show with the gentleman playing banjo in his birthday suit. I'm sure you see. Huh? What? This, you said this is community television. That's like PBS type television. And there's a guy playing banjo on his birthday suit. There's a guy who's just butt ass naked playing the banjo on public television for anyone to watch. And they air that shit. Oh yeah, and there's no tape in the machine when it tries to start recording. It makes this awful sound like putting a squeaky toy in the food processor. I can hear it above deck. Awful. Well, that's why I put the sign up. Please do not rewind after watching. At least that way nothing gets taped over anymore. Yeah, where's the station? I don't know. Well, I don't know. I guess I never thought of it. It must be nearby, right? It's a community television. Dashiell will know. Yes. You should meet Dashiell. He did a lot of volunteer work for WEVP in the early days, wiring up antennas and relays, stuff like that. I think he too would have a lot to talk about. He works at the telephone exchange. No, I'm afraid he's been let go. Oh yeah, that's odd. He still takes the ferry to work every day. I'm sure he's at the telephone exchange right now. In fact, I dropped him there a few hours ago. We're stopping at the telephone exchange again shortly to deliver the mail from pick up their trash. You should go ashore and when we do and ask for him. Huh. Playing banjo in the birthday suit. Community television, man. I really miss changing the lines on the beach around the wrong colonies, and I do enjoy a drink, though I don't find their signature liquor suits me, but this time I elected to stay aboard and shoot the breeze of Kate over mineral water. Still, I heard reports. They were missing the point, but didn't seem perturbed. That's right, she had something over there. I'm sure those two are more eager to listen to the house band. I can't remember exactly who was playing, but Patch always has someone in the tranquils the crowd. Oh, he got someone that really knows how to cut the crowd at ease. Oh, we're talking about the rum colony. I should tell you about Patch. He's a bartender, general manager, creative director, I guess. That means he books the music. He pretty much runs the place for the last 7 years. A lot of folks assume he owns it, but that's not the case. The rum colony is owned by a dead man named Vernon. Technically, it would be owned by the power company who once bought a sizable interest from Vernon on part of the state-sponsored investment program, but a clause in the arrangement requires them to keep their hands off the day-to-day and most of the profits, so long as Vernon walks this earth. This upshot of all this is not nobody came forward to identify the body. Patch is a good guy though, kind, trustworthy, and mixes a strong Mai Tai, if that's your thing. Since no one's told them he's dead, they technically still own the rum colony. The power company can't get their hands on it. Alright. Here at the next stop. Valkyrie and Blue lounge below deck. Claire, Kate, and I stopped to do some business by telephone. So this is me going with Shannon. Valkyrie and Blue. I don't want to. Yeah, I'm staying on board for this. At 4 scene 4. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on the mammoth. It's Valkyrie. Is Valkyrie the other dog's name? Or Valkyrie the cat's name? Yeah. Yeah. We finally get to play as Blue. Or Valkyrie. We are now dog. We get to become dog. Or alright. That was worth it, right? While those two gentle beasts kept things under control aboard the Monkey Man, I went ashore with the rest of the crew to make use of a public telephone. I called into my answering machine, which I regularly neglect for intervals of months, and chip away at the pile. Kate checked in the client of hers. She's a birth doula in addition to being a tugboat captain. Did you know that? Clara talked to her sister in Lithuania. Illness in the family, I gather. Anyway, the evening hit a low point not much later on, so let's take a quiet moment here to listen to the river and reflect on the unburdened sleep of dogs. Scene, Valkyrie and Blue. Made it all worth it. That might have been the best scene in the series, to be honest. This scene of Totem just be dogs. Alright, next stop here on these murky waters. There's an old man and I stopped at the Radvinsky Center to make some quick cash. Ezra taught us a card game. Ezra taught you guys how to play spades. Scene 4. Act 4, scene 5. Scene 5. I said, I'm staying aboard the mammoth. This is what I've decided. I decided I'm gonna stay aboard the mammoth every option that I can stay aboard the mammoth. So the next time I can just go outside every time. Draw the card. 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. Draws a card. 7 blue petals, 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. What are we listening to? Oh, this is a tape a friend of mine sent me. They live in the desert, Vinzig, something like that. Sounds good on the Mammoth PA. Yeah, that's the only way I listen to anything lately. Your turn, buddy. Georgia call. 9 gray feathers, 7 petals, 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. I didn't pay attention. 3, no, 9 gray feathers. So, no, I got it. 7 and 5. Oh no, it was 9, 7, 3. This game's more difficult than it sounds, my friend. Yeah, but he's doing pretty good. And we're only how many cards in now? 5 or something? I assume we'll go to 52. It goes until everyone forgets a card. That could go on a long time then. Well, not with this crowd, I guess. I'm all too soggy brained, I know I am. I even take homemade supplements for it. Shade grown lichen boiled with the peel of a lemon. The frozen and crushed with oak leaves and the scalp massage oil. You can smell it if I get close. It dries the brain out a bit, which is helpful for a good memory if I can remember to use it often enough in the first place. Ha 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 ha! Oh, don't worry, that soggy brain has the benefits too. If your brain is soft and tailed, new ideas can make a clear impression, like a boot in wet sand. But like wet sand, it can easily get muddied and washed away, so there's a trade-off, see. It's a shame we can't have it both ways, isn't it? What's this game called, Ezra? Forgetting game. Hey! The forgetting game. Try to remember. Water sounds. Kate likes to give her passengers the opportunity to make some floating around money, and that lab is casting small envelopes upon completion of their little gauntlet of non-invasive tests. They should probably go to university. I think they're studying. I don't remember. The man also collects their trash, mostly shredded paper, though Kate says once they left half a vending machine on the dock. But nobody seemed to enter in the lab stop that night. They stayed aboard and played a card game. I read a book. Let me tell you about it. It takes place in a castle. Some kind of historical landmark being maintained by a bunch of college kids and aging social misfits. The main character's work is the gift shop. Their co-workers, Mimi and Jin. Mimi is older than Jim, but they seem to be at the same point in their lives. They like their work and they have a playful antagonistic relationship with their boss. I actually read a bit from the middle. The is about a cat she'd lost track of. It's sweet and unoccupied passage. Human affection for animals is a good model for pure compassion. In my life working at Echo River Premier anecdotalist, I've always found the carefully excerpted moment and most powerful in epic history. That's my excuse anyway for reading books from the inside out. But it's out there, my eyelids were getting heavy. We were headed back to Lake and a chance encounter with the Iron Pariah. We can't record her. We can't interfere with her. We can only observe and live in the moment of the Iron Pariah. All we know is that she was once at war, we think. And she vanishes from photography. And this place is open up. Okay. There's cool trees. Trees that are in fact cool. They kind of look like bone cages. They look like a rib cage, you know? Like some 28 days, 28 years type shit, like cage bones. Yeah, scary. But I said I'm gonna stay on board. That's what I said. I will stay on board, so I'm gonna take a nap. Night 4 scene 6. Staying aboard the Mammoth. And next, on my next playthrough, because I'll play through the Zack again, I will see the other side. Hey, just a quick one here. I'm going ashore to do some mushroom hunting. This little island's my favorite spot, and I figured we are running late. What's one more unscheduled stop? I just need to find Will and get him up here to keep an eye on things, you know. I bet he's asleep. Could you run down and wake him up for me? Bunks are down the lower level, right next to the map room. Thanks. We gotta go low, low, low. Let's get a little recording then. Animatronic. Spooky. Spooky. The real spooky sounds. Right, can I go down? I cannot. I had to go down from the inside. To the main deck. Phew. Let's see what's oh, more things to record. The river. Let's see. Sounds beautiful. And I did not know I got some sneezes in. Right. Actually, is there anything over here? That's blue! Hey, that's the dog right there, the Lordex. He's got a little I don't recall what those are called. You know, the pattern nonsense and stuff. Yeah, let's record the sound. Oh. Yeah, never mind. It sounds less than diary. Nope. I thought I would be recording his snoring, but I'm not. Not the lecture, not the Edison technical supposition nonsense. This indistinguishable lecture. Yes, the idea of personality is lingering after death does appear to be in conflict with Edison's theories about what they called life units. This subatomic energies would animate matter and then scatter to other configurations of the present passes on. But, given Edison's emphasis on memory and cognition, remember, we're talking about the inventor of the photography, of the phonograph. In his helpful description of the swarm and interchangeable drone like Edison even used the word protean. Life units animating the human mind. His theories naturally possess that the individual life unit possesses some fragment of memory. So according to Edison, when life unit recombined from, say, a soldier into, say, a flower, we may be able to using some apparatus to coax from the flower memories of war. And then the flower's just there, just like, war. War never changes. What do you listen to? Well, I used to work at a university and I always eavesdropped on lectures playing through the ventilation system. Anything and everything. I'm a polymorph by nature. An old friend recently found this box. They recorded lectures next to a dumpster there and passed it in the spirit of fondly recalling better days. This one is History of the Philosophy of Death. Yikes. I played these rotated lectures during my little nibble naps to absorb the information more easily. It's pretty effective. I wish I could do everything half asleep. Can't say I learned very much just now, though. I may have been too busy dreaming. A vivid narcotic fantasy aboard the, those are always the quickest to dissipate. I better tell you about it now before the spell's broken. I was small, not a child, an animal maybe. I patrolled the corridors with great iron ships searching for scrouts and mice, I think, and crying always a weak and mournful meal. Other crewmen slumped in odd corners or lay drunk on the deck. The hull smelled of shame, defeat, and rot-gut corn whiskey. They dumped artillery into the water, tore their flags into claw scraps, and made handkerchiefs to bury their sobbing faces. They drifted on Lake Lit, drinking the cold black water and eating eyeless fish raw. When the last ran out of cooking fuel, they seemed, in their despair, to forget even language. Even at an interval of years, the ship crossed the threshold in absolute silence. Silence except for my hopeless whimpering cry. Anyway, that's all I remember. Yeah, that sounds like a bad dream. Sorry about that, man. Oh no, not bad. Unsettling. Puzzling. But thanks for your concern, Doc. Well, I got us due to start. You may hurry back about deck. I believe we're about to pass the Bat Sanctuary. It's quite a thing to see. Bat Sanctuary? That sounds kind of cool. I mean, scary a little bit. Cat came back from mushroom hunting action with a small basket full of oddly covered captain sterns, no doubt delicious to a morsel. Of course, she intended to use many of them in her medical practices to ease the pain, nausea, and anxiety of pregnant women, but I can usually rely on charms to snare a bit or two. I have no preferences when it comes to mushrooms, by which I mean that I treat them all interchangeably. I prefer not to know their names or qualities before I cook them up and eat them. It's useless after all. They keep the irritation, as the fellow says. It's a good mushroom hunting island, I guess. It's plenty damp and that cypress trees try to grow on. Of course, they're not indigenous, the cypress tree, I mean. Everyone down here seems to agree that they were planted by some kind of marker or memorial, and most people will tell you that they got a distant relation or acquaintance of helping dig a hole or water a seedling. But nobody remembers what it was all for, and nobody left a plaque or anything. It's a shame, looking like it must have been a lot of work. Well, at least we have the trees. And the mushrooms. Oh, okay, so that's the one about the forgotten place of memorial that no one remembers what it's memorializing. Shannon helped me figure mushrooms to do. Shannon and her friends set out to deliver a package in Tunnel Exchange. Nope. Staying in. On the mucky mammoth. Seem to save it. And now it's kind of making me go, if I stay for here, because I learned about the guy with telephone while staying on board, will I have different dialogue if I stay on board, learn about him, and then go to the telephone place and talk to him? Or will it be the same? Regardless, like, will they mention him in a different way and be like, oh, you should probably talk to him. He knows all the telephone stuff you want to know about things, but because I'm like, you know what I mean? How in depth are the situations? If I do this, then go there, will I have new dialogue options? You know, it's one thing that I always kind of have to do, which is it makes taking games with choices take a lot longer than they probably should, because I want to see every option. Then I need to call for a portobello, but I prefer never to know a mushroom by name. So is this a breakfast stew? It will be, but not today. This stew is for tomorrow. It has to simmer all day. Some things are just better done slowly. We've added the anonymous mushroom, so next we got a recipe video on pause next door. I used to follow a recipe I learned from Ida herself, the best cook we were gonna meet on the river. Of course, I had a few secret ingredients. She had a good sense to preserve some mystery around her cooking, better for business. Ida is so shrewd. She swore me not only the secrecy, but the ignorance. I had to promise to forget the recipe just as soon as I cooked it. Let me tell you, it's not so easy to forget something on purpose as you may think, my friend. Not so easy. Let's record. Wait a minute. Yeah. You know, when you hit the pot, you get the pot drums. Classic pot drums. Bubbling stew. Alright, we're getting a lot of recordings. We'd probably get like different recordings if we went out. You know, blue. That is the blue. Crushed tomato salsa, or even a little ketchup here. Here's the thing, nobody has to know. Throw in some more of that spice blend we drew together earlier. Stir all that up and crack a beer. Baby, you'll be here for a while. What did she just say to do? Will's trying to make this stew. So yeah, she said add something to red. I saw some maraschino cherries in there. Maybe I can help him figure it out. I got kind of sucked into the program. Nice. To record the TV cooking show. Right, and now you're gonna do is you're gonna add the salt, but not too much salt. Well, and even that wasn't enough to convince her. So I trained rigorously in the art of forgetting, studying for months on our master amnesiac. Finally, I learned to forget so quickly and accurately that I was able to convince Ida to share with me the most obscure secrets of her kitchen. As a demonstration of trustworthiness, I forgot the names of my own parents right there in front of her. Every time I wanted to cook this later stew, I'd call Eda up on the phone and ask her for a quick temporary reminder. Here on the boat, we haven't got a phone line, so I had to seek out culinary wisdom on videotapes of cooking shows. So back to the matter at hand. Next, we to already make the spice blend. Oh, it's you. I thought. Never mind. Hello. Well, I don't know that it qualifies as a spice blend, but I spilled the salt in some of Kate's herbal tea here. Hey there, can I ask you? Wait, why are you cooking? We're serving out salmon Ida in 20 minutes. It's for tomorrow. Oh, well, just don't forget about it this time. I'm not scrubbing up any more boiled over sludge. Sorry, listen, I have a favor to ask. There's a package from the telephone exchange, and I can't get the mammoth back there. Could you deliver it for us? That guy I mentioned from the DSA's Nestor Moore works there. Thought you might want to chat with him anyway. Thanks a lot. I've only got Ninja all ready to go. Maybe take your friend with you. One man on board motor, and the other can aim for flashlight. It's dark. Okay. Well, there's a possibility that I wouldn't have gotten this extra part if I just left. And I won't know until I go back and play again. Echo River Central Exchange. Equivalent exchange. So yeah, that is good. We did get to go talk to what's his name. Thanks again for your help. This is about as far as the tugboat can go. You know, noise and lights disturbed the bats. So yeah, passed through the bat sanctuary. It was really nice, by the way. Be sure to check out the plaques and stuff for cool bat facts one at a time. Anyway, the Echo River Central Exchange, or excuse me, Cultivated Auxiliary Switch number 30, they changed the name when the power company took over. Anyways, just on the other side of the bat sanctuary, the package is going to Poppy. She's an operator, the operator. We'll meet you on the other side of the Salmon Islands for our scheduled early breakfast stop. Just follow the river, can't miss it. Oh, and I almost forgot, you may or may not be interested. There's this kind of weird memorial sculpture on the way in, just before the bat sanctuary. I was hoping people at least stop and take a look at it. It's really sort of, I don't know how to say it. You should check it out. Okay, bye. Alright. Just heading on through. It's... What is this? This memorial? We claim these helmets and names of the folks who wore them, and we place them here in their memory, but also in the spin, the greedy green-eyed, the power company who bought up our own mine and traded our brothers and sisters' safety for a little more yield, but only yielded 28 good men and women dead with the walls collapsed and the tunnels filled with water. Their lungs were black, but now they're washed clean and full of water too, and sucked through the hidden tunnels into some awful cave we never will find, and so we guess the water buried them for us, so let's this be the market for their grave. And if any son of a bitch from that power company wants to take back his helmet as company property, just you try it and see what will happen. Hey, Elkhorn, that's the mine we met in, where your folks worked. Looks like it's been here a while. I sure as hell wouldn't mess with it. You think whoever wrote it still has my anger? Anger. Mainly just hurt. And everybody's got their own way, I guess. It probably stirs up, I mean, how do you... Enterprise made this, but it should have been the power company. It's their fault. Yeah, I see what you mean there. Memorial should be a kind of apology. Sorry we didn't do better by you. Yeah. The power company own everything. they own everything. Everything is owned by the power company. Oh, these guys. Fucking hell, these guys. Yep, I will be working with you guys soon. I already owe... I don't know, what? You're looking at me like I'm crazy. Sometimes I forget I don't even really know you that well. Yeah, well, next to us. You know, those guys from the distillery are just making the best of a bad situation, just like the rest of us. Hey, one of them said to me earlier that they could even help me take care of those medical bills for my leg, you know? Get it all together on a plan. That's all they did. Yeah, maybe, yeah, it's like, maybe get out of that shit. That'd be really good, because you're going to be working there for eternity. Oh, sure, could be. You know, I have a feeling it'll all work out. Even for me. Hey, why not? Seems like we're getting pretty close to finding your cousin, right? And besides that, you're young, smart, and plenty of time to bounce back from whatever. Listen, that old truck I've been driving belonged to my boss, Ira. At least that's how. To be honest, Ira didn't like me very much, but somehow Liz got it into her mind that he would have wanted me to have that truck someday. Maybe to make up for all the yelling he did, or maybe so his ghost could hold it over me, just one more thing to feel like I owed for him. Or anyway, they got their own trucks at the distillery, and now that the antique shop is closing up, I've got no use for that old truck. I was thinking you could take it. What? It's like I really know you, man. Hell, I barely know anyone. It's not like I'm gonna give this truck to my damn brother or something. I don't even know how to get a hold of him these days. But just thinking about it anyway. You've been doing me a favor, you know? One less thing to deal with. You just get the truck over. This is the Echo Road, Kentucky Team Bat Artificial Hibernation Sanctuary. I'll take extra precautions in order to prevent the ingestion of foreign fungal memories and straight up white noise syndrome. Please do not visit the sanctuary during the same day in which you visited any cave known or suspected or host bat infected with white noise syndrome. Please do not leave your vehicle. If you must leave your vehicle, please remove shoes, clothes, jewelry, headwear, and eyeglasses to ensure you do not bring any foreign spores ashore within you. Please do not touch any bats or structures. The Kentucky Team Bat is confused by light. If you are using a lantern or artificial light source, be aware that it may attract and confuse bats. If you are approached by bats, do not panic. Relax over your vehicle and switch off your lights. Never touch a bat. Yeah, I was like, I'm guessing. Oh, it has to be on. So, the bats are approaching because of the light. Just turn it off. You just go to like a bat sanctuary or just traverse with like just bats all around you and stuff like that. You know, I know they have the aviaries and stuff like that. But I've been to like one of those. Every time you're a mouthful, bats do it all the time. Bats like and shouldn't have realistic links to the damage downs, and it goes come back different than a million. Since the bats are able to picture their environment with mouth actually catch a flying inside. Once the bat's caught and take it in its mouth, and that's the bug running things. The bats keep clicking away, even when they're much tasty bug snack and covering in the dark. I wonder how other bats know whether or not them are really talking to them. Sometimes it's hard to know what people do, you know what I'm saying? We gotta lay this on this try. Bat facts. Bat facts, bat facts. But yeah, no, I think kind of cool just to check it out. It'd be kind of scary. I think bats just kind of naturally have that, like, I don't know what that means. I need to turn it off. But I know like bats kind of really die down here. Yeah, no, yeah. Where would I have gone? Reflective. What are you thinking about? Bats. I don't think about bats. Yeah, hard not to. I was thinking about Lisette. I actually think she'd like it down here. She always like old things with empty places. I mean, places are full of weird stuff, but they still feel empty, like the wax museum. Keep us swarming. I want more bat facts? Sure, bat facts. A natural diet mostly consists of moths and small insects that breed along the river. Here, the artificial hibernation sanctuary we use a combination of chemical snares and ultrasonic barriers to repel all potential contaminant bearing insects and replace them with our own locally bred and spawned hypoallergenic anesthetic subunits, which will be your little gray nutty moths. We've been thinking of the other moths and insects we've taken home out. We've been eating our very revealed and their natural predator has found another food source. Not so. We've installed nutting and highly effective traps along the river where they can only get into bat naturally hunts to balance their escape from the food chain. But eating moths isn't the only synthetic condition of which bats made. There's potent fertilizer in the form of guano that help plant life thrive along the echo river and shore of Lake of the Day. In order to analyze some sanctuaries and packed in subterranean agriculture, we collect that person's guano here and the hibernate and manually distribute it throughout the caves. It's a full-time job. Sounds like a lot of work. Aren't the bats feel about their guano being taken like that? Maybe it's better if they don't know, like bat plumbing. I know. And they don't know where it goes, do ya? Alright, it is reassuring that someone's taking care of everything for these little bats. Yeah, you gotta build the people. I know, we even build ourselves, but we already did. Like the folks in the mine, they used to buy stuff, fans, canaries, and little trinkets to make it bearable. There's just still a lot of stuff down here. It feels cluttered, but human. I just mean all people need is enough to pretend we're home. Yeah, so. You get kind of philosophical when you're drinking, you know, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I guess I do. Nah, it's nothing. I used to have this drinking buddy who would get loaded and tell me the weirdest damn riddles like, which is more musical, a truck passing by a factory or a truck passing by a music school? Huh, count your blessings. There's an umbrella. That's supposed to be there? That feels like that's not supposed to be there. Turn it off. Okay. Alright, hang on a minute. It feels like there's one kind hovering right over me. They don't really hover though, do they? I mean, how could they? I guess a lightning bug will hover by beating its wings really fast. Maybe they can do that too. I used to watch lightning bugs in the evening out on the edge of the woods. So I used to watch lightning bugs all the time at my granny's. Every summer. Anyway, me and Charlie, sometimes we try to see one of them up close and lay in the grass and be totally still for a while. Like this wax tail just don't even breathe like this. Oh, you can't see me. I was in a watching lightning. What's it? I think I can imagine it. Yeah, you've seen it already. When I fell in the mine, kind of stunned at the shock. Hey, what were you talking about? Talking to you earlier when we met in the mine. You're on the phone with someone. Oh yeah, with that. My ex. That's. I don't remember. She had kids now, so we don't talk as much. I was just thinking on the phone about my landlord situation. Yeah, she was pretty funny. That's generally I don't know what I was talking about. It gets harder and harder. It is hard reconnecting. It's hard keeping in touch with people, despite how easy it is to keep touch with people. And it's not like the means, like it's easy to like text or call someone if you still have their number or anything like that, you know, but it's hard, you know, just doing it. Especially when like the time passes and like when more and more and more time passes, it becomes harder and harder to just reconnect. There are people that I haven't talked to in forever that I still think about every now and then. I'm like, I could just text them, right? I could just give them a call, just say, hey, you know, what's up, how's it been, sort of thing, and you know, I just haven't. You know, it just feels, you know, weird. It feels impossible. Isn't that? I didn't realize that Blue came with us. What the hell? It's recording. Is that another bat fact? Bat fact. Why no something was so largely a mystery now? It's like the center goes from bats faces length and take confuse them down between stored energy and needs to survive through the winter. There's nowhere near curing disease. It spreads quickly and highly fatal. No one's. We got a lot of bats. Well, I'm gonna turn this off for a second. Plenty of bat flats. Lizette's sick. I mean, she's old. We're both old. Kind of the youngest person I know right now. And the kid, maybe Blue. Maybe people's counting there. In dog years, though, I bet she has the old beat. So I'm old too, sure, and I forget stuff all the time. I supposedly have a few in my brain swimming, but I know Liz is it's all going away. She's losing words she never think you'd lose, and the streets you grew up on with names and colors and types of furniture, even the word furniture. She'd say we still got a few nice pieces in the, that I call the shed, where we put the bigger pieces, the beds and couches, and I'd say, Liz, when they keep teasing me about that time I fell asleep in the furniture shed when it's all damn comfortable in there, I tried to help her keep some dignity, you know. That's all I had to offer in the end. She had a sister in Nashville who will take care of her, and now that I'm not around the shop all the time, what's that old guy's name? He used to make deliveries for the shop. He sounds like Letter Era was always yelling at him. I'm too drunk to work on the one day he could have been in the right place at the right time. And it means a lot to you, right? You know, it's inevitable at this age. People are gonna all the time. Friends, family, everyone. It's natural. I don't wish she'd live forever, but that just keeps some dignity as she goes. I think that's the best we can wish for anyone we care about. Okay, I think the bats are clearing out. Plenty of bat facts. Learn more about bats, you know. I don't know how the whole bat situation is. I don't know if, you know, we have to do more. or if we're good. I haven't really looked into bats all that well. I don't know why I would. But, you know, maybe it's something of interest to you guys. Maybe you're more into like animals and that sort of thing and such. Animals have always been cool, never been like a primary focus for me. But we're what the hell is that? We're ready to go into a tunnel. Are we making our way to the other side of the bat sanctuary? Yep, looks like it. That's cool. Alright. Careful out there. You can't drive your new truck if you slip and break your leg. Is he trying to make any more bad deals going on? I'm just floating along. I just mean keep your eye open. Don't look back. That's that shit. Let me talk to Flora one more. Oh, hi. I remember you. Oh, yeah. She's from the Is she from the cave, the big cave where like strangers and stuff were? She likes dark underground places and romantic. Is like, yeah. Is that why you were in cave? Makes sense. Yeah. What does that mean to you? I mean, I like ponds and rivers and mysteries. Okay, bye. Okay. The show could be bypassed with a grass or 100 nanofards to reduce noise. Hey, I guess I know that you're tired of floating pins to ground. Huh? That's a pretty good idea. They're probably picking up all kinds of radio interference. The show Morris, please me. We don't install this type of phone for customers anymore, but there are quite a few of them still in circulation. Anyway, your new system doesn't source enough current to ring those old bells, so I'm trying to come up with a workaround. Maybe a little box and the customer could attach right before the wall jack. I'm a bit of a circuit geek myself. I mean, you seem very comfortable with electronics. Is this your first time down here? Yeah. I can tell. Your eyes can't quite adjust to the light. It takes some practice. Believe it or not, I've been coming here since I was a kid, for one reason or the next. Back then, this place was a train station. True, they had bats then too, but they were considered a nuisance. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, what happened to it? Well, the river shifted, and this place slowly filled with water, carrying the trains away with the current. It does that, the river. I don't begrudge it. It's a good reminder that everything we have is borrowed, even trains. Eventually, someone in the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces heard this place was still empty, so they moved the phone company in here. I returned here as a young lineman, a skill I picked up in wartime running telephone wires behind enemy lines. We used trees instead of poles. I miss that, actually. They're easier to climb. It's just as well. I'm in no shape of climbing anything these days. The closest I get is patching up the wiring in the crystal room for the Weave folk. Weave's a TV station, right? Cat says you're the only one who can tell me something about it. Hey, you ever know a girl named Weaver, though? Sure, Weaver Marquez. That's funny, I was just thinking about her, yeah. I met her a couple times in the TV station. As well as I didn't know her too well. She handled the archives and I was helping with the wiring and stuff. She really seemed to know her way around all the gear, though. She had a head for signals, I think. No, I know where she ended up. I guess she's probably not too popular around the station anymore, but I always liked her. Listen, miss, if you're interested in leafing, you should go talk to them directly. They're always looking for volunteers. Take the ferry over to the silo. There's a mail stop there. They don't have a sign or anything, just ask around. I guess I'll get back to this damn old ringer. Poppy's just a little further down if you're dropping out that package. Nice chatting with you. I don't know. What's this over here? Is this black? It is black. Abel and Alias, the lovers' couriers. Bred for racing, Abel and Alias spent most of their lives in carrier pigeons in the employ of Echo River Avian Post. Oh, they retired here after Abel was disfigured in an accident with a light aircraft, but old habits are hard to die. Abel and Alias would pick up scraps of paper from the ground, the trash, even pull them out of pockets to deliver them to other people nearby to delight or embarrassment. Word spread, and travelers passing through the tunnels began to become prepared with love letters, poems, and other written desires to pass along indirectly to the pigeons. After hard day's work, ambulances will always be found nestled closely together in disused newspaper stands set aside for their habitation, and that's where we left them. Oh man, that's cool. And they'll just keep going this way. Alright, we got the mail. Hey, Bobby. Just it right there by the lamp, lady. Thanks. How's just a minute? Who's the parcel claimed to be from? Less electronics. Oh, must be a new patch cable, so not a minute too soon. This one here is hanging on by fiber. So where are you? Do you work at the post office or the tugboat? I only asked because I haven't seen you before. Was that you I heard chatting down the hall? I'm just doing a cat a favor dropping off this package. Cat, I love Cat. She helped deliver both my nieces, one in the hospital and one at the base of a mossy moonlit oak. It was beautiful. I love Cat. I think Loretta's granddaughter used her too. Oh, Loretta used to work here. Actually, I think quite a few of our former operators have relied on some time on Cat's services. Well, now I guess they'll have more time with their little ones. As you can see, all their chairs are empty. It wasn't always like this. When I came to work at the Echo River Central Exchange, there were 12 of us. Loretta, Edna, Meg, Cara, Maria, Luis, Liz, Hester, Angie, Willem, Connie. I was number 12. Connie and I were hired on the same day, but she showed up early. she got here a few minutes before me, so I hit 12. So Marion finished college and Hester was fired for snapping at a rude caller, but he had it coming. And I hear she did just fine on her own. So they hired Beryl, Jenna, and Sajiko, which brought us up 13. And that was as many operators as we ever had here at one time. The power company came along buying up all the lines, and one day they took the exchange to throw in like it was nothing. Nothing. They started phasing us out. Edna, Meg, Cara, and Lewis left one Friday evening and were asked not to come back on Monday morning. Burrow saw the writing on the wall and quickly found employment on a private PBX. They had John and Liz stop routing calls and write some kind of best practices document instead. It was their final task to exchange employees. Some of the girls were reassigned to other divisions. Connie, I think, was checking residential meters. Sachiko and William were moving to energy sales, cold calling businesses to see if they needed to upgrade their electricity plan. At least they were still on the phone. Then it was just Loretta, Angie, and me. We were swamped, the hours were hell, and the heart on the throat. The voice with a smile became a croak. I was gargling warm salt water in the dark room, sipping from a thermos full of hot honey broth stashed away my chair, under my chair. Oh, and I brought a lot of extended techniques to the switchboard in those days. Yep. Duty calls. Sounded pretty good to me. Yeah, no, that's yeah. So where was I? Extended switchboard technique. It was all about timing your breath. Some girls got lightheaded doing too many calls in a row with the upbeat, dynamic inflection that made us use to keep everything intelligible. It was very physical. So after a few months, it was just me. A new automation strategy was announced, and the place was rechristened Consolidated Auxiliary Switch number 30. Yeah, if it's automated, what do you do? It's not fully automated. There's still gaps in functionality that need a human touch. And it really is about the touch here. Sound is a vibration, a touch you feel in your ear, so the voice is my touch. When we're talking, we're touching, even on the phone. That's electric touch, an intimate little shock that makes your tiny hairs tremble. But that's not even what I mean. When I say it's all about touch here. When the power company first tried automating this old exchange of fancy new transmitter arrays, the switchboard caught fire. It was just too much, too fast. So they tried using some clunky old mechanical relays, but then the calls were getting mismatched and out of sync. It was a nightmare. Their technicians determined that the phone system down here had to be designed 80 Hawk over decades around the specific tempo of its human operators. So, short of replacing the whole thing, not to mention all their wiring, they'd have to work on the exact timing of every little human gesture that goes into routing a phone call. And that officially is my role here. I run the switchboard for the whole exchange. Once the work of 12, I'd like to remind you, they have some kind of machine somewhere that tracks how long it takes me to do each little thing. The caller never hears my voice now. They dial, my little indicator lights switch on, and I make the connection. Yeah, you miss talking to callers? There's something that bothers me about the process, besides the fact that I'm training my replacement, who isn't even human. Oh no, we're going through. We've been going through that for a little bit ourselves. Here's what I mean. How long do you think it should take to time my every move and recreate the timing of an automatic switchboard rough estimate? I'd probably say like a week. That's what I said. But this has been going on for over a year, and a very dark thought started to nag at me. What if there's no cheap machine that's going to replace me? What if it's cheaper just to keep me here, filling in for the rhythm of the operators? What if I'm the cheap machine? Oh no, no, why did you just quit then? In this economy? Oh, it's same reason. Oh no, no. The economy is still exactly the same here as it is current day. The exact same situation being replaced from something that's not even human is happening right here, right now in front of our eyes in his life. And how old is this game? This game came out like in 2015, 2018, something like that, I think. No, you're probably right. Working in a silence for peanut shells, waiting to be replaced by a robot, doesn't sound very dignified, does it? The reality is that I've been working here for my whole adult life. I came here as a girl and I'm leaving as a middle-aged woman. I don't know if I'm ready to be here yet. Be her yet. Oh, the parcel right over there by the lamp is fine. Thanks for dropping that off. Take care. Think of me when you dial 0. Damn. Uh, Blue's over there. Conway? Conway, Conway? You only hold an arm and a leg. What has happened? What has happened? Why is Blue over there? This fucking man. It's like you can't let him drink. He said he was blackout drunk in a ditch. He clearly cannot hold his liquor. He should not be drinking. She returned on the dingy alone. She had a strong and sudden urge to shut the motor off and let the current take her, but she couldn't work out where the impulse came from, so she did her best to resist it. When the flower salesman on a raft. They floated alongside the buoy boats, probably untethered. He rolled them with a long pole of stream of small and Justin. It's small talk. He was alert and easygoing. The day was just beginning, and he used to work at the balloon barn, and he closed down when he wasn't selling flowers. He'd hang up on the highway and listen to the sounds the cars made, study them carefully, and to learn to reproduce them with his own voice. He's working on a record. Everyone is. He judged the way of the current and pushing his flowers along with the raft. Family of 5 on a flat-bottomed skiff. The boat was loaded to capacity with black plastic bags and a few larger pieces of furniture wrapped in blue tarp. 3 paddled, the 2 adults and the older children, and the 2 younger children slept. They'd been traveling all night, first by car and then for the last few hours by boat. Hungry and tired, they didn't plan to stop until they reached West Virginia, where a relative had offered to take them in. But the adults were happy to take a break from paddling, and we were in silence. They asked about her river journey. Told them about the memorial. They were sympathetic, no minors in their family, but he was once injured on a warehouse job. He had to fight for disability pay. They knew that their companies were like, knows what it was like to have to assert your humanity to them. They wished her well and paddled on towards West Virginia. Had a painter of shipwrecks. He never worked from photographers, so his painting could be divided into 2 categories. There were the ones they painted for life. The Echo River was a very good source of these because the currents were so unpredictable and the tunnel so dark. He rendered those in oil painting by lamplight, working for hours cross-legged on the porch of his houseboat/studio. Then there were the ones he painted from memory, mostly the memory of a single wreck he encountered as a much younger man, picking up litter where the coastal highway cleaves into the rocky beaches of Northern California. These were done in watercolors. He preferred it to work on them in the morning in a room he rented near the airport in Louisville. He had some postcard-sized sketches in charcoal too, the iron pariah. It wasn't a wreck exactly, but it felt right. He tried to scribble one down every time he encountered it, though it was so unpredictable. He was so focused on details, he usually just ended up with a handful of inscrutable marks. She gave in, shut off the motor, and flipped for a while. Then she knew what she'd been craving. A moment of silence. Conway just vanished. He'd been drinking, and he just vanished. Blew over there on the other side. Like, I don't know where he went. Conway. Conway, what are you doing? Why are you making this so damn difficult? This man wanna be driving that truck for the rest of his life. He already owes an arm and a leg. He's gonna by the time I see him again, half his body gonna be skeletal. But I really where did he go? Because it's not like maybe if I listen back, maybe there's like sound of like water or something. Maybe he got in the water because I'm just like he wasn't on the like I'm just like where'd he go? He was right here at whatever this location is. Oh, it looks like a house boat. Looks like a house that's like on like logs. Scene 9. Sam and Edith. That's right. We are coming here for. There's a restaurant we're gonna eat at. It's just me. Going up. Hey. Listen now, we already finished eating, but we're about to place a to-go order for Clara. She's back on board, getting ready for her show. Take a look at the menu. I'm sure there's something you'll like. Eat as a bit of a local celebrate before cooking, I mean. Anyways, I was just asking about you. He's around the corner playing a video game. Maybe go let him know you two are back, or where's the old man? Oh, about like, yeah, next time. Hey, you got a quarter? Yeah, I got this. Sure, yeah. Where's... Yeah, I think they took him. Damn, yeah, he really got himself into a situation there, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna go sit down. Cool. The food is good here. I think everyone else is finishing up, but you can probably get something to go. Alright, Claw Maestro, let's give it another shot. So let's see what's on top of the pile here. There's a stuffed octopus plus bag, fine, a cowboy hat, and some big headphones. Now this is leg wrapped around the boombox underneath it. The shells are pretty clear, but I don't know if the claw can really grip the bag well. The cowboy hat's in the corner, so it's kind of tricky to tell if it's wedged in or not. The headphones might be a good bet, but I can't see the cord. It could be wrapped around something. What are you gonna try for? Headphones. You're going for the headphones. Good call. That's our best bet. I'll put the cord in. You'll have 8 seconds to grab. Everyone's on the right, pretty close to the middle. Let me know if you need help lining it up. I got a slightly different view of field from here. Here we go! Dun dun dun, 8. Right? 7. Yeah. Up. 6. Does it look right? Too far to the left. Did it keep going right? Does it look right? Go for it. Alright, drop the claw. The claw drops. It grabs the headphones. The claw grasp seems unusually weak on this round, and the headphones tumble back out before they can be retrieved. You're a rod. I guess I also always wins. Except on Tuesdays. I always said that. I never knew what that meant. Oh well. Anyways, it sounds like the old man you were following around. I guess they had to leave. Yeah, is he coming back? Well, probably not. He got himself on a trajectory. Anyway, I don't know what kind of plans you have now, but if you need help figuring out your next one, you can always talk to me and Miss Juneboy. I just wanted to make sure you know that. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Me neither. You're in good company. Hey, maybe we still have time to poke around this place a little. It has some pretty wild stuff in here. He's just gone. I just Hey, you see this? They keep a table full of fake food over here. I never know why. Actually, I think it might be real food coated with shellac or something, preserved. Oh, and look, this tentacle looking thing is half eaten. There's someone's meal that they didn't finish. I dare you to take a bite. You first. Okay. Oh, hold on. I'm kidding. A salmon eater preserved this half eaten meal. It must have been pretty important to them, right? And it belongs to someone they care about. Yeah, so, I see. So, yeah. They're gone. There's nothing to worry about. I just miss them. So, someone, yeah, maybe he's trying to just eat weird stuff on the table. Weird somehow I thought it was his truck and delivery and all. It was. That's what she's saying. But he gave it to her before they took him away. But you're gonna deliver it anyway. Why? Uh, somebody's waiting for those antiques. Yeah, a name or just an address. Maybe it doesn't matter. Even having discarded all of that, whatever it is, onto the lawn, I'm sure you still have fulfilled your friend's obligation. Johnny and I will help you unload when we get there. Lift with your legs, Cricket. Yes, ma'am. That was everything. That was a sweet cave snail. Devastating. You're a killer. Well, I can't take all the credit. Sam came across a whole cave snail colony down there about a year ago, and we've been leaving rock candy for them gorge on since. We just started harvesting earlier this month. Yes, it's all about patience down here. Everything grows more slowly in the dark. There's a fish in the lake London that lives to 200 years, and its flavor profile only develops at about 75. I got a pot of bones in there that I've been stewing for at least a week. I don't even remember why I put them on. Come to think of it, I don't even remember what kind of bones they are. Oh, we need one for the road. Clara said she wanted something primordial. She said, "What does that mean?" Maybe she meant something from deep within the lake. Huh, could be. I'll say, here, you pick. I'm no good at this. She wants something primordial. It's not expensive. It's not primordial enough. Age blind cavefish and a small salad. Maybe that. Hmm. Yeah, plank blind prime with parmesan river crust and butter. Oh, good choice. I was like, oh, that sounds good. We gonna get that. Edgar lays on the table and carefully examines the preserved food and drink. Grayish claw. Completely smooth. They're asymmetric. Sorry. Ooh. Why didn't they finish their meal? Well, they had more than twice as much food as they really needed, so even half was too much. The food is about 15 years old. It's true. Things are different here. Nobody came to eat here. We were fighting just to keep the lights on. Sam, my husband, Sam was depressed. He couldn't catch anything. That was part of the problem. Most of what he served was shipped and frozen or dried, and I just threw it in the fryer. We both come a long way since then. Well, two young men came in for dinner, seasoned divers. They said over 10,000 hours between them and the lake Leighton alone. They'd been out all day, salvaging parts for a riverboat wreck, and had worked up a fierce hunger, they said. They ordered the whole menu without even looking. It was a short menu in those days. I sat them right there and went back to the kitchen. Sam was the next table doing a Sudoku and drinking malt liquor, his usual routine at the time. An hour later, I was cleaning up, and Sam came busting into the kitchen. Ida, he said, these divers are still hungry. Bring them another course. And I said, they already ordered the whole menu. I said, make something new. Make something, keep making out dishes, whatever. Just keep bringing out food. So I did until the small hours in the morning. I made out so many new dishes that night I could read a book, and it was good, inspired. But I was working so hot and fast with the brain adds of inspiration, I didn't think to write any of it down. And I was so wrecked with exhaustion next day, I knew I couldn't remember that all I'd done in the kitchen. So no, we could take a photograph of the leftovers, but we couldn't get the lighting right, so we just shellacked the whole table. Now, when I need inspiration for the menu, I come and look here and think about all those indigenous dishes I drew together for those divers. Of course, they didn't pay their full bill. I heard one of them complaining to the other, let's just pay half and let the charge the other half to whatever demon in the kitchen kept making out food faster than we could ask for it. But it's all worked out. Things have really turned around since then. The place is actually pretty popular now. The success in our expanded menu inspired Sam to start bringing back the most magnificent ingredients from his nightly dives. I'd better get to work. Stay right here, sweetie. I'll bring you a treat on the way back out. Um, Yeah, she got inspired, you know. The inspiration for the food and such. I guess Sam. Oh, buddy, guess you're the catcher today, the one and only. What are you? You look like, well, some kind of eel, I guess. Kind of mopey little guy, huh? Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. You smell like some sort of buttery. Well, that should be just fine. Skin feels like sandpaper, huh? She'll figure something out. I think I'll call you Grit Eel. Welcome to San Benito, the one and only Grit Eel. I hope you enjoy your stay. I mean, not too much. Have you ever seen a creature like this before? You were pretty far down there. I wouldn't be surprised if I wasn't the first, except there were two divers who went before me long ago. Maybe this is before your time. How old are you anyway? I wonder. They ate here once, back in the bad old days. Two young guys could have been brothers. Maybe I was in the corner of my coffee and crossword. I haven't been able to catch a thing, so I need to just find it. Oh, it's him. He had a coffee. He used to have more liquor. Well, these guys are hungry enough to eat it and ask for more, and they did at least as much talking as eating. See? Like I said, they were divers, and like I said, they might have been brothers. They had a kind of rivalry going between them or something. He was about to write up their check, but I slipped calmly and quietly into the kitchen for a moment and told her to just keep bringing out food. I figured they wouldn't notice, caught up in their boasting as they were, and I wanted to listen. They went back and forth for hours about all the deep and dangerous lives they'd been on. New tunnels they discovered, all the weird creatures they encountered, and the weirdest depths of the lake. It was like a dance, no, like a boxing match. Each story went deeper than the last. And I listened to every word of it, memorized every description of every tunnel and diving route they discovered. That's my map now, you see. For 15 years, I've been using routes those two young divers discussed right here at that table. You can say I write a guidebook to the face of the lake, and I don't dare. Someone would steal my good diving spots, and then where would we be? See, people coming from all over to try on a daily catch because they know it's unique. Ain't you proud? Since I can't write any of it down, I just preserved that table where they had their meal so I can look at it and jog my memory, like they were eating pickled crab when they talked about that shipwreck full of salamanders. Pretty clever, huh? My own secret code. Well, I'll be straight with you, Grittiel. This is one feature of the arrangement that I found selling. In fact, I lose a decent amount of sleep over it. I told you those boys were competing, right? One upping each other, and they get wilder and more adventurous as they traded tales. Well, I navigate most of the dark down there, just going by touch and mental picture I construct from the detailed boasts, and every time I explore a new diving spot from the regulations, I have to weigh it all against the risk that I'm heading right into a dangerous falsehood. One of those men could have felt for a moment like he was losing some ground in a little duel, so he could have slipped a fake one in there. Maybe told a fib about some dive he went out and found a colony of blind shrimp living in the discarded refrigerator. And when I get down there, my diving bell cracks open into a sharp rock where I said the fridge would be, and that's the end of Salmonitas. To be honest, the possibility puts a fear of death in me every time I touch water. Oh, don't mind me. We're just bringing in the catch of the day. Hey, Sam, good haul tonight? We'll see what she can make of it. Yeah, pretty good, I think. I had some trouble down by a narrow tunnel. Some kind of fast-growing freshwater barnacles just about sealed it up. Picked away for half an hour and I gave up and went around the other way. But I got the catch of the day. That's the important part. There's a lot of fish in this lake. It seems so quiet. Yeah, there's a fish or two, not too many. It's not like a surface lake where it'll sound like propping up the food chain. Life down here grows slowly, patiently, quietly. We stay for a drink. I got a dark run that goes well with coffee. It's a bit early for me. Yeah, it seems like it's always too early. Oh, so you got your food ready. Y'all enjoy your meal alright? Banjo. This world is not my home. Going up. That's cool. They all have different reasons specifically for themselves of why it's preserved the way it is. This guy. They seem to always kind of show up at varying locations. Like maybe just coincidentally where we are, but probably not. Maybe a cello. Some rain. Turn to the tugboat. Turn to tugboat. Oh man, where is Conway? Maybe it's morning. I don't know. It can't be. I mean, maybe it is. You know, maybe. Sorry to this. See that? This looks like a swirling mess of garbage, doesn't it? Well, that's what it is. I don't know what trash needs to collect right here. All the spots of the lake, and then that way everyone just navigates around it like it's an island or something. It's a dusk and chairs at the edge. All in one dust like they have in school. I don't remember right. It's been a few years since I saw the inside of one. They must have been washed out from somewhere. I never known there to be a school in the lake. Oh, there was a Gemini School of Beauty. It was run by sisters Casey and Paula, and the secrets were except for their haircuts, but I wouldn't think they'd have used desks like that. You just out there almost every night to let someone offer a cheap haircut. Student stylish, you know, they spared many a sailors the pain of botched do-it-yourself do. But I guess they got in deep in the power company. Those blow dryers and curling irons burn a lot of coal, and it's a shame they had to close down. The haircuts are gone, but the hair keeps growing. Yeah, this color place makes a decent local museum. It's good history inside I could ever tell. We're at a small houseboat neighborhood type something hosted a concert for the pleasure of its residents where Clara was scheduled tonight to perform. The Clara performance, she said she's only, probably a little late. But everything moves so slow here. I guess it's to be expected. Most people aren't on time for things because that's just the way things are here on the river. I just stayed on TV to have Clara with her son and then watch the show from the dockyard with the others. Yes, no, so we're gonna do what we can to stay on tugboat. Let's go. We've been collecting all these sounds, so maybe it'll help. Scene 10. So that's what we're using the recorder for. Back on the Mucky Mammoth. It does make me wonder if Conway's gonna have like his own section at the end, or if the final act, Act 5, will be just Conway. That's a very special tape player you have there. It can be played forward or backwards, slow or fast. You must give us some completely new sounds tonight, Ezra. So, are you ready? Yes. I can tell you have a good intuition for sound, and that's very important in this piece. Any questions before we begin? Yeah, I don't know what to do. Play your tape recorder. You may play any tape at any speed, any volume, backwards. Just listen to the music and use your intuition, or it may be better if you try not to listen to music. The technique is called indeterminacy. What's the name of your music? I don't have a name. Would you like to name it? I think it's better without a name. I agree. And what's it sound like? Only one way to find out. Let's get it. Yeah, kombucha. Slowly, gradually speeding up. Yeah, that kombucha. That's right, the Thurman. How's this? So we got back-to-back musical performances in these acts. Sleep. You put that shit backwards slowly. Yeah, scary. It's spooky. Yeah. This is. If I was, I don't know. It's kind of haunting. Yeah, cat. Turn that bitch off and on rhythmically. Yeah, young DJ. This is eerie. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If I was sitting in this crowd, I'd be like, what the hell are we listening to? Oh yeah, yeah. Put the mammoth on. Just let it play. Just let that rock. Hmm. I'm gonna have to look up what a theremin is. You know, like what kind of instrument. Like how does it play and stuff? Because I have no idea. You know, it's something that like I've seen before, but like you just didn't know what it was called. That that happens all the time. Hey, what do you think about when you're blind? Why make art to quiet the mind? Quiet the mind. When I'm playing this piece, I usually think of my uncle Andrews. I never knew him when I was a child. I still him postcards, but we've been very close the last few years. Collector of sounds like you, who travel to recorded sounding of birds, rivers, city traffic, or crooked moonlight highways. He sold the sounds by mail order to movie studios and private collectors. They ended up in films, television shows, mostly dislocated and reattached to other images. Still no quiet in his mind. I'm sorry to say. I hope you'll continue making tapes, Ezra. I'm sure there are many people who enjoy listening to them on this river and elsewhere. That was a concert. I would like my money back. That's not my cup of music. That's not a concert that I would go to. I'm not feeling it. Nope. I'd be like, I met a photographer once. I mean, one in particular. She even took my portrait. I can't imagine why. She said it would be immortalize me. This is my metaphor, of course. She meant I'd never be forgotten. As she was disembarking not far from here, actually, the film fell off her bag and was borne away by the current. I was working on the deck at the time. She shot me a sad, apologetic glance, but I wasn't bothered. It's no shame to be forgotten. Our passengers, two lighter, disembarked in the mail stop at a silo. They couldn't seem to get the old truck started up again, but we managed to roll it off the bars with only a minor scrape or two. At the last minute, Clara decided to travel with them for a while. Cade and I said goodbye to our friend, new and old, and the mucky mammoth rumbled on down the echo. That's the Clara's coming. Alright. Scene 12. Silo of Late Reflections. Alright. I mean, since she's gotten more concerts down the road and stuff, so just continue. Intelligible. What's this place like, Dogwood Drive? Is it a small town or? It. I really don't know. I got the manifest the old man had in his truck here. List as intakes, mail order delivery, no return address, shipping address, 5 Dogwood Drive, packing list. And then it's just numbers. I guess the inventory number of the antiques you're supposed to be delivering. Anyway, I'm glad you're coming with us. Yes, I'm always eager to see more of the country, and I enjoy the company. I'll have to find a bus or a train to get on to Nashville by evening. Well, they have buses everywhere, right? Or hey, I could drive you to Nashville, seeing I have a truck now. Only, how are we gonna get up these get up these stairs? That's a clear staircase. Uh, is this something we could do with the rope? Yeah, sure. I can think of a few things. Nothing that'll get the truck up the staircase, though. Like I said, we're making the rest of this trip on foot. Yeah, I don't even know what's in there. What was doing with the carry? Nah, we'd be loading and unloading gear since the stars are young. We're in our rodeos, right? We've got expertise. Alright, Cricket, let's get this delivery packed and tied into bundles and we're hiking it upstairs. What's in there? Antiques, I guess? Antiques. Yeah, antiques are. It's like junk, but people will pay for it. Oh. Sorry, I guess you'll be taking the bus after all. It's okay. It'll be an adventure. Tired, don't worry, lady. We're almost there. Yeah, you gotta take this huge staircase. So yeah, I guess we'll, yeah, because I have no idea what the actual antiques we're delivering are. But yeah, we don't have any clue. This is cool. This is a very cool shot. Morning bird songs. Is is this is this Neon? Yep. Okay, it is. Yeah. I was like only because like the scene hadn't popped up yet. It was taking a little while. But yeah, that's the end. Right. We traveled across the river. Got a new partner. Clara's along for the ride, and we lost Conway. He was taken or he joined up. Right. We don't really know. He was just with the two look like the two people we passed on the right here. Before we hit the bat sanctuary, and he's gone. And now the truck is in our hands. Shannon has been given the truck to hold on to, which is I mean, this is the kind of night where, yeah, you two have probably know this is something that this is an experience that you probably won't share with anyone else ever, and it gives like a special kind of connection between the people and such. But it is still kind of great. He's like, "Hey, can you take my truck? You can have it." Right? But yeah, he doesn't have anyone else to give it to, and he can't like give it back or anything. So it's just like, kind of a waste. So giving it to her so she can move around because it doesn't seem like she had a vehicle. So she can move around, their TV repairs and stuff like that to continue on, and she can use it. Like she'll like be able to like effectively use it and stuff. So it's not like bad, but yeah, with everything they've been through, I guess if he's gonna give it over to someone, so he doesn't have anyone else to, why not Shannon? Well, that was cool, yeah, and I like the choices, staying on the tugboat or going off at the varying locations to see varying locations, and yeah, you should definitely check out what's on the other side. I'll probably end up going back and just seeing what's on the other side of locations. Getting off the tugboat to see what's on the gas station and what's on the rum colony and everything going forward. But that was pretty cool, yeah. And we're down to what will be the final episodes next time, right? Un Pueblo de Nada. I don't know what that means. Hope it's not bad. And in Act 5, the final act. But that's going to be it for us today. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you want to. I'm Mrs. Cannon. Thanks for coming along to ride on the tugboat with us, and I will see you next time. Later.